Wake up! Wake up! Wake up, wake up, wake up. So today, on the Saturday morning edition of the AV Podcast, I'm joined by Ryerson Hall of Famer Jan Michael Nation and the founder of the Skills Refinement Group and legend of the city for our generation, O'Neal Kamaka. As we talk about all things March Madness, we break down the landscape of the transfer portal and the NIL, because with all the lack of upsets that's been happening right now, it is shaping the landscape of this tournament right now. There's not a lot of upsets. And I think part of that is the effect of the transfer portal, the effect of NILs, and the bigger schools getting the best players. It's, I don't think that math is that hard. You're seeing it right now in real time. But we get into all of that. We get into the 4 NBA prospects that we've been hearing about all year in the NBA draft. We share our thoughts on that. We share our thoughts on Cooper Flagg. I break down my basketball field trip. Matter of fact, me and O'Neal break down our separate basketball field trips that we had recently, and much, much more. Definitely appreciate you guys for tuning in right now. Yeah, so this episode was actually supposed to be out yesterday. I was feeling under the weather yesterday, on Thursday, so I didn't get the chance to put it together to put it out. By happenstance, you are getting a Saturday edition special. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. All right, so thank you for locking in as always. South Shore is available wherever you listen to podcasts. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons. You can watch this episode as well on the South Shore YouTube channel, which of course you can just type in South Shore Ave, throw it up on your 75-inch, and bam, watch me in person. Damn it! And if you're still listening, wherever you listen, whereas Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Alexa, wherever you watch, wherever you listen. And make sure you click on the like buttons, the favorites, and whenever you see those 5 stars, show me love. That's all I ask. Show me the love, man. Show me the love. Thank you. I appreciate it. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. And once again, as always, check out my catalog over at southshoreave.com. Once again, that is at southshoreave.com. I'm going to say it one more time for the emphasis. That is southshoreave.com. It's the AV Podcast with Cal C on South Shore Ave Radio. And before we begin, we are bringing to you next week the Daredevil Breakdown series, because that's probably one of my favorite shows that has popped up on TV since Billions. Stay tuned for that. That will be coming down next week. All right, let's go. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up.
Welcome to the AV Podcast with Cal C on South Shore Ave Radio.
Welcome to the AV Podcast, where I'm joined by the Ryerson Hall of Famer, Mr. Jan Michael Nation, the founder of the Refinement Skills Group, and a hoop legend in the city of Toronto, for my generation for sure. Please welcome O'Neal Kamaka. How you doing today, sir? Both of you. How you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, man.
Happy to be here.
You should introduce John as a yoga instructor, like a master yoga instructor.
Hey, man, props to him for that, though.
But listen, that's what I'm saying. That's big, bro.
Yeah.
I can't do
for
real. I try to send him clients. So, but he's,
You have, I appreciate that.
Yeah, like I said, man, it's we're in the middle of March Madness right now. But before we even get into those kind of topics, because I kind of want to keep it, in the spirit of college basketball, to focus on those topics for today. We have Mr. Kamaka here that took a secret trip on Instagram to Oakland. He went out to the Bay Area to go run up on Too Short, hang out with E40, and check out the All-Star game. So yes. I want to hear some stories, man. I want to hear some, at least the ones you can share. Anyways, I want to hear some stories about. Was this your first All-Star weekend, first of all?
No, my third.
Okay, not including Toronto.
Huh?
Not including Toronto, because I figured we all went to that one. But
my second outside of Toronto. So 2020, right before the COVID lockdown.
You went to the Chicago one.
Yeah, and then this one. So when I heard it was in Frisco, I'm like, I'm going. So I try to link my usual partner, my boy Cass, and he was gonna go, but then he backed out.
Mm-hmm.
But my wife, because it was my 50th, and she was gonna go there for work, because she works for
Congratulations on being 50, my brother.
I was just about to say that. Congrats. Big congrats, man.
Yeah, thank you. So
yeah, where was the Fett?
Nah, low key, bro. Low key. So as my 50th, she's like, I'll treat you. So she, my boy backed out. So I was still gonna go, and she's like, okay, great. So it just me and her. So she got the flights. Yeah, went out. We landed on Friday. So we had tickets for the celebrity game and whatever other game was there, the Rising Star game, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because we landed, it was already happening. Again, we're 3 hours behind. So it was already happening while we got there. So, okay. We went to a Basketball Africa BAL party, which was cool, right? It's always great to go to those things. We saw like a lot of great Black people that are just doing big things. It was a fashion show. Boris Kojo was there. Some celebs was there. I got to see my teammate. He was there that I went to JUCO with. His brother's Spencer Bantu, who played for the Raptors. So Kojo. Yeah. So I got to see him. So that night was good. We got tickets to a Kenny Smith party.
Nice.
Yes. But here's the thing. So the BAL party was cool because it was like an exclusive party. So that's what we like. So the Kenny Smith, we're hoping it would be the same thing. So we're walking because it's not too far from where we were. Everything's down by the pier, actually where we're staying. And we get there, but it's like a warehouse like government back in the day. So there's big long lineup. So like I don't know anybody at the security because we have passes to get in. So it's like forget that. Plus it wasn't exclusive. It was just like for the whole public.
Anybody can go.
With people you don't even know.
Yeah.
So we just turned around and went back to the hotel. The next day, my wife had a function. We went to that. And then I got to go to the practice. I got to go into Oakland Arena, the old where Golden State used to play. They weren't even
Oracle is still open?
Oh, yeah. They use it for different things.
Okay.
And the Oracle Arena, yeah. And that was cool. And my other teammate from Division I, so my D1 teammate from St. Mary's, because that's where I went to school in the Bay Area, I invited him, and then we went and watched. It wasn't really a practice. I can't even call it a shoot around because they had 4 teams, right? Like for the All-Star team, they had 4 teams. So those 4 teams, basically, it was just an appearance. They came on the court in their sweats, All-Star gear, whatever, shot around for half an hour. Each team got half an hour, signed autographs, and then after was the HBCU game. So that was pretty cool though because we were right on court. So like I think you saw in the Instagram post, like Wembanyama was right there, Kyrie was right there, Steph was right there.
Yeah.
Like, TNT is filming right behind me, so that was pretty cool. So, but again, being 3 hours behind is like got to get back. Yeah, I got to get back to the hotel because we're in Oakland, so I got to get back over to Frisco, get something to eat, get ready for Saturday night, which is skills competition, dunk off, all that stuff. Oh, here's the thing. Here's the story. San Francisco was uncharacteristically cold. Normally around at this time, it's like, in the 10, 11, 12 and up. It was like 4, 3, so it was cold. And if you didn't bring the right jacket, it was cold.
Yeah.
Transportation during all was like you couldn't get it. Everything was just. It was also Chinese New Year, so they're having celebrations. So traffic was just crazy. So my wife coming from where she was, it took her 2 hours. It's bananas. You barely saw any cabs. It was all either Uber or self-driving cars, which was freaky, bro. Like these self-driving cars with no drivers had these like big ass cameras on the front, on the top, on the side, on the back. And the way it was explained is like there are people at a facility monitoring so they can see everything. And it's run by AI. And so if the car or the AI has a question, like it encounters a situation it's not familiar with, the people like gives it the answer. So it's freaky seeing a car driving with
nobody in it,
changing lanes, all that stuff, driving without a driver. So I'm like, I'm not getting in that. And there's people that definitely got in. I was like, I ain't doing that. I'm not gonna take up too much time, but the All-Star stuff was good. The problem wasn't with the All-Star because we got tickets for everything, so that wasn't the problem. The problem was getting around, right? Like finding like one because it's bananas. Like there's no Uber coming up to Chase Arena So you have to like jump on a streetcar trolley and take it like 3 or 4 blocks away from the arena. Then you got to try and find an Uber. And Saturday night after the skill competition, I'm gonna go meet my teammate again for him and his wife for dinner, bro. We tried to call an Uber. It was like $100 US. I was like, God damn.
Wow.
Right? 100 US. We're like, forget that.
Everything goes up.
Jacked up. So we're like, let's call a cab. 45 minutes later, the cab still didn't come. We're waiting 45 minutes, the cab didn't come. It's like, God damn, what's going on? Looked at Uber again. Now the price went down to like 55. So we just jumped in and took that. So the issue wasn't necessarily the games. All that stuff was cool. It was real chill. It was great seeing it live. We always had good seats for the, watching the dunk competition, watching the game, seeing all the performances. That stuff was cool. It was outside the arena. And then coming home. So now we're at the game. We're thinking, okay, everything is good. We're trying to figure out which party we're going to go to after. And we get a text from Air Canada, your flight's canceled. We're leaving Monday morning at 8 o'clock a.m. So that just killed our mood right there.
Wow.
As soon as the minute the game ends, we're walking out my wife's on her phone trying to call Air Canada, whatever number they gave us at the bottom of the email, not getting through. We jump on the trolley again. This time we go on the subway, try to get back to the hotel, still waiting. 2 hours, nothing. Get back to the room. She's still on hold, blah, blah, blah. Get ready for bed. We're like, listen. She's just like, I'm going to try at 3 o'clock West Coast time, 6 a.m. East Coast time. We have a 2 hour later wait over. Not bad. So we grab something to eat. My wife is checking. We're sitting there eating, and my wife is like, she just, organizing herself. She's like, where's my computer? She forgot her computer on the plane. This is her work computer with all information. She had to book it back to the other terminal to go get it. And they're like, when she was telling the people at our gate, like what she had to do, they're like, oh, I don't think you're going to make it. Like, forget that. She just went full sprint, got there, got the computer, came back. We're able to go, board, go in. So we're sitting there, all bored. Close the gate. Pilot comes on. Yeah, there's something going on in Toronto. We're going to have to sit here for an hour. The plane crashed.
Wow.
It was the day when the plane crashed. So now we're sitting on the tarmac in Vegas. We sat there for about almost 3 hours because I think there's a certain time limit where they have to cancel the flight. And we were sitting there for an hour, and he came back on. He goes, we have another hour and a half. And if we can't get the go-ahead to take off, we're going to have to cancel this flight. So I was like, oh, my God. So now we're sitting there, and there's about half an hour left in the hour and a half. And he finally came on like, we're good to go. And then we came home, and we got home in a good time. And obviously, we came home to see it. Because remember, the snowstorm happened on the Thursday. So that's why they canceled.
Yeah, it was a crazy snowstorm that week.
Yeah, that's why they had canceled our flight on the Monday morning. And then the airplane crashed.
The snowstorm happened Wednesday, and it carried over, and it picked up again. Yeah, on the Saturday. And then it snowed again on Saturday. That's right.
Yeah, so it was crazy, bro. So also weekend the events were cool. It was really nice, man. Like being there.
Was the game packed though?
Yeah, there's a lot of people there. It wasn't like there's a couple empty seats beside us, but it wasn't like empty. It wasn't packed, but it wasn't empty. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people outside trying to get in. But it was one of those things where, we had good seats. We liked our seats. We were good seats. But it wasn't empty. It wasn't fully packed. Like, not every seat was taken, but it wasn't empty either.
No, but I mean,
there's people waiting, hanging out, tailgating or whatever they're doing and having fun.
It's as a basketball fan, I think it's always cool to go to something like that. Although the All-Star game hasn't been, like they're definitely trying to throw shit at the wall to see what sticks at this point. But it's not like it was like, like 10 years ago and 15 years ago where it was like, oh my God, like the city shut down and, even though I'm sure it was, but it's just, it's everything's different.
You know what I've realized though? I think it's different when you're watching it at home on TV because when you're there, because even when I go to a Raptors game, any basketball or NBA game I go to, I'm a people watcher. So I'm distracted by watching people, right? You see all the, all the ladies that do themselves up or don't do themselves up You see some ladies wearing like literally wearing a thong, CFM boots, and something just covering her nipples. And she's basically naked walking around in the arena. Like, and I'm talking like at Scotiabank, right? So
yeah.
I remember when we went to All-Star weekend here, or All-Star game here, my wife and I, we had good seats. We sat down, and then we just like, after 5 minutes with us, we just went back because we're in the Scotia Club, and we just miss mingling with people anyways, right? Mm-hmm. And so even with this one, it's just looking around to see which celebrities. Whenever I go to basketball games, I don't really watch it until the fourth quarter anyways, if it's a close game. So I'm usually just watching around, see who's around, which celebrities. Some people watching anyway. So when I was at All-Star Weekend, when I was at both the celebrity game, not the celebrity game, the skills competition and all that stuff, I was looking around. I'm looking to see who I see, which celebrities around. Obviously I watched what Mac McClung was doing, and then the next day at the All-Star game, again, still watching, looking for celebrities. So it was like, for that, it was cool, right? Because again, there's a lot of people around All-Star Weekend, a lot of celebrities from different industries. So it's cool to see people that you like and admire, right? So if you're watching it at home, yeah, it might suck, but when you're there in person, it doesn't.
Yeah, it's more lively, obviously.
There's a lot going on, right? So, but I think, they should definitely make it USA versus the world or something like that. Like, do what hockey did. And that hockey thing, I didn't even realize that was a replacement for
the All-Star Weekend.
All-Star Weekend, because literally with Canada, US, they just started fighting right away, right? And I'm like, and I think that's why I took it to a next level, because usually it's supposed to be fun, and they're like, these guys are like, nah, right?
I think it's different. It's two different. It's like apples and oranges in a sense. I understand the sense of hockey. It was 4 teams. Wasn't it a 4-team tournament?
4 teams,
yeah, right? So it was a 4-team tournament. So you had other countries involved. Obviously, it came down to Canada, USA. And then I think in the preliminary rounds, USA beat them, right?
Yeah, that's when they fought. The very first game.
Okay. And then in the big moment, this one hurt. This one hit home because it was in the USA.
Yeah.
It was in overtime.
Yeah.
And it, so it had a lot of meat behind it. So the NHL won the All-Star Weekend, obviously.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think they should do USA versus the world. It gives it more intrigue because most of the stars, the faces of the NBA right now, are European or from all the parts of the world. Yeah,
and I think I'm a big Stephen A. fan. I watch him a lot, and I think why are you hanging your head, Jen?
Sorry, it's a lot. That's a lot to take, man.
The guy's a smart guy, bro.
I agree.
You brought up a good point.
I forgot you're a big Stephen A. fan.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna say it. I think LeBron ruined the All-Star Weekend because he doesn't participate, and because remember, Jan. Remember how Kobe Bryant was calling him out when Kobe Bryant was there and it's like, "Yo, come at me," and LeBron was passing the ball.
Yes. When he blocked him from behind and dunked on him?
Yeah, like Kobe was like, "Yo, let's go. Let's give the fans a show." Right? And LeBron was like, "Nah." Right? And now he became the face of the league. And he's like, "Nah, I'm not going to participate in this. I'm not going to, I don't want to do it." Right? And I think he ruined All-Star Weekend. So in a way, just for this, I can't wait till he leaves. Right? Because I want All-Star Weekend to come back when we have guys like Ryerson and Kobe and Jordan, they might have bull jived the first couple of quarters, but by the third quarter, guys were playing hard.
It's a game.
Guys were going hard. So I don't mind that bull jiving the first 2 quarters, sure. But then, start picking it up and, at least go a hard a quarter. These guys are bull jiving the whole game, so I can't wait just for that reason, though.
But it's interesting. It's interesting because even the last podcast, I said that from when Kobe tore his Achilles, there's been maybe 2 good All-Star games since that point, right? Because he never really came back after that, at least whole, right? Like the last one he participated was the one in Toronto, and the weekend was amazing, but the All-Star game, the actual game itself was trash.
Yeah.
Right. And then 2018 and I think 2020 were the 2 years where the All-Star game was competitive. After that,
Is that when they changed up the formats? I think there's one where they went up to a certain point total.
Yeah, the Elam ending and stuff.
Elam ending and all that, yeah.
They tried a lot of it, but it always reflects the leaders of the league, right? Like
that's what I'm saying.
How
it always comes down to that. Comes up to those guys. Him and KD.
Yeah.
Those guys are in their feelings, bro. Those guys are too sensitive, my guy.
And I still think it was a silent protest by Clutch. I still believe that to this day.
Yeah.
Because I mean, what's the chances him and Edwards don't play, and then they both played the next night, full minutes.
Yeah.
You know, so I think they were trying to send a shot of some sort. So I know we're talking about basketball trips. I'll share mine real quick.
Yes.
Yeah. So shout out to my nephew Jalen. They didn't make it far. They lost to Duke on Sunday, but when they won on Friday, fuck off. When they won on Friday, right? As soon as they won, I was like, all right, I got to go buy a ticket. You know what I mean? Because luckily we had some friends and some friends and stuff, friends of the family that was out in North Carolina. So it was just about pretty much getting a plane ticket. So I ran up online right after the game was over, got a connecting flight, which took me into Fort Lauderdale, where I got family and friends over there. Had an 8-hour layover, which ended up turning into an overnight because F Spirit.
Yep.
Never fly with Spirit.
Yep.
Wow.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, it was an experience. I won't share it. I won't go over the boring details of that, but it was just yeah. So I ended up spending the full night in Fort Lauderdale. It worked out because I got a flight 8 a.m. My brother picked me up. Big brother Curtis picked me up. Who was there with another South Shore Ave guest, Anthony Bachelor. He came down on the trip too. So we went straight to the game, not realizing I was getting 2 games in one. I totally forgot that. So the first game as soon as we pulled in, as soon as I walked into the arena, UConn and Florida was playing.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was.
So that's what happens. You get 2 games in one.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because I was like, why are we rushing? I'm like, this game don't start till 2:45, and then we walked in. I'm like, oh shit! Like I didn't realize. Damn. Okay. Yeah. So great seats, had the chance to kick back. Watch that great game, and then watching. First of all, Duke is huge, but humongous in person. Good Lord, they're a big team. Like is it Theon James? Is that his name? The point guard on Duke. That dude looks like he eats weights.
Yeah,
he's like he's either point dark skin guard.
Yeah. It's D1, bro. These guys are built like football players, man.
Yeah, he eats weights. He eats kettlebells. He eats kettlebells.
I keep telling people, you got to get in the weight room. When you go to D1, you got to be – and it's been like that since I was there. People are like, oh, guys are big and strong. I'm like, no, they're not. Guys have always been big, bro.
Like, he looked like a tight end.
Yeah.
He looked like a tight end, straight up.
One of my best friends down there, Reggie, he wasn't there when I played. When I first met him on my visit, and the coach introduced me to him because we went down to the pier. When you go to Frisco, you got to go down to the pier. Mm-hmm. And he was finishing work, and he introduced me to him. And when I walked away, I go to the coach. I'm like, so he plays football for us? He goes, no, he's playing basketball. Bro, the guy's arms were the size of my body. I was like, what the hell? That was just massive. And he was a basketball player. I'm like, that guy plays basketball? He's like, yeah. I was like, God. Built like Reggie was jacked from Alabama, one of them big, dark guys from Alabama, just like jacked. Big arms, big. Yeah, so, D1 ain't no joke, bro. When you get in the weight room, you got to bang those weights out.
It was crazy. And if you guys seen barely this season, they're undersized. You know what I mean? And then they lost their big man, towards the end of the year. He tore his ACL. So they were really short. So having, Omir guarding a 7'2" guy and he's 6'7", it's kind of.
Amir himself is a monster. That guy's jacked.
Who, Amir?
Yeah.
Oh no, he's a big. That's a
on
big
TV,
West
he
grown
looked
man.
big, so I knew for a fact in person this guy's a lot bigger than me.
He's a grown man. He's a grown man.
Yeah, he was moving. He was definitely moving furniture on the court there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. Jalen had his opportunity to guard Flagg for a bit. I wish he had a chance to stay on him longer, so that they're their defense, where they're switching all the time, which kind of put them in some bad spots. But listen, man, Duke is man, they're solid, man. They're efficient. When you watch them in person, like the ball is just moving. You know what I mean? They work it to get a good shot, and when they can, they work it to get a better shot. And it's just simple basketball, man. It's just the fundamentals of basketball, how it's working. Like, they were so efficient in that game. It was crazy. Like, as soon as anyone was open for three, like I think they made like 60% of the threes that night. Yep. Like, they were making everything. Flagg, yeah, he's gonna have a good career just based, just from what you've seen. But like, just watching it in person, like he had like 15 and it was like he took 5 shots.
He's gonna have he hit a lot of threes.
He's gonna have a great career because he works hard. That's a skill.
Hey, doesn't he remind you of Keith Van Horn?
Yes, a little bit.
Hey, a little bit, like that.
Better handles.
Yes, better handle. Modern day. Keith was a little stiff.
Yeah,
more power forward.
A little bigger. Yeah, a little bigger.
Power forward, kind of back then in the 90s.
He was like 6'10" though, and Cooper's 6'9".
6'9".
But his motor and his, like, all you gotta do is look at a guy like Giannis, and Giannis says it all the time, which is true, right? It's not about talent, and you hear this all the time. It's not about talent. It's about how hard you work. Because Giannis, I love that. I got a post where Giannis always talks about there's so many talented guys, and there is. How many talent? Like, a lot of these guys are talented, bro. You forget that. You forget that a lot of these guys in the NBA are talented, but but they don't work hard. It's sometimes it's a curse because when you are so naturally gifted, you don't know how to work hard.
You don't work as hard.
Yeah, I like to tell the story. Like, baseball was my sport, and I remember I was playing for Leaside, and I remember my teammate one time said to me, "If you worked hard and trained on baseball, you'll be in the majors easy and be a star in the majors." And I was like, looking at him like, "What are you talking about?" Because it never even dawned on me that I had to, like, I had to work hard. I didn't even know where to start because baseball just came easy for me. Fielding, throwing, hitting just came easy. You know what I mean? Like, it just made sense. So I didn't know where to start to work hard. I didn't know what I would do to start working, right? Because in a way, when you play baseball, you kind of by yourself, maybe in a batting cage. You might have one other person throwing the ball at you and you're trying to hit it. But I didn't know how.
Yeah, I didn't have a batting cage. We did wall ball.
Yeah, exactly.
On the thing, and then
put the
get hit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But when he said that to me, and so I think about basketball players who are naturally gifted at, like, it's their sport, our guy Errol Frazier, like, I always looked at him as like basketball was his natural sport, and he just picked it up. It was just so easy for him, and I think a lot of guys are like that, where it's just so easy for them, but they don't know how to work hard because it's so easy, and they don't know where to begin, right? But you have a lot of these guys are talented, but Cooper Flagg is such a hard worker. That's the thing you get is motor. And when I watched him play on the EYBL from the start, that's what I noticed about him was his motor, like the way he just went at people. And I'm like, that's why he's going to be successful in the league. That's why he's going to be a superstar in the league, because he works hard. And when you're in the NBA and now they have film and they're breaking down film, right there they're breaking down film. The minute you do something, you go on the bench, you have a coach behind you showing you on film, breaking it down, bro. He's only going to get better. I think his ceiling is very high.
Watching him in person, his wingspan is. I actually didn't realize how long it was, man. I should find out what the measurements are for that, but it might be like Mikal Bridges long. Like he's actually like when he stretches out, you're like, whoa, like it's really crazy to see, but like. Yeah, man. Shout out to Baylor. That was a great experience. Shout out to Jalen. Shout out to Big Brother Curtis, his sister-in-law, everybody that set that up, and my family and friends out in Fort Lauderdale. Man, it was a crazy 24 hours. To go through all of that just to catch that game, but it was worth it though. Like even though they lost,
and well deserved for Jalen. Like I'm so happy he got to experience March Madness after being all that he's. Does he have one more year?
He does.
Good. Because all that stuff that kid's been through, man, it's amazing that he at least got to experience that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's good. He landed in a good situation.
Yeah, he got a chance to persevere, man. So we'll see what happens going forward. But yeah, man, it was a great experience, man. Like it's interesting to see like the little stories in that is like we parked at this gas station. We parked at like the 76, the 76 gas station. We parked there, and they shut off some of their pumps because they're making so much money on parking cars at the gas station.
Oh, wow.
And it's crazy because you would think that's the only thing that happens in that town, but the Hurricanes play there too, right? Okay. So, but they're like, yo, they make so much money on this. They're like, yo, F gas today. Yeah,
that makes sense. Why would they charging for parking? Why would they charging for parking?
It was like $20 or something. Like it wasn't anything crazy, but it was still. I mean, for you to shut down a few pumps, like you making some change.
I heard. I think Jack Armstrong was telling me this. Or was it Eric Smith that when they go to because Jackie's from New York and he's a big Buffalo Bills fan. When they go to the Buffalo Bills game, there's people who are parking close to the arena, but they're parking like people are selling their lawns and stuff to park, right? So people are parking, like making a lot of money, like allowing you to park on their property. So, it's
a thing, but like watching that experience, like especially that the Florida game, man, like it's like the excitement in the crowd, like you feel that, man. You feel that, like watching Danny Hurley, not Danny Hurley, but Danny Hurley, watching him just freak out, and like that guy's so animated in person, man. Like it's he's on TV, it's all real,
very emotional.
Very emotional. He was crying during the interviews, the post interviews. He was crying after. He was crying again, and it's like he really wanted it. And those kids you could tell they wanted. It was a good run, man. It was a good run for them.
And it's funny because I know there's people who don't like him, but one thing you can't argue, man, he gets the best out of his players.
Listen, he
really does, man. When you seeing it in person, you're like, that team wasn't as talented as it was, compared to last year, especially.
No, nowhere near. But they played hard.
I mean, they almost pulled that out.
Yeah, and they made a good game. They came to complete. They got a good game plan. It just guys made tough shots down the stretch.
Yeah, so it's just better. Listen, coaches like I could empathize with Coach Hurley because at the end of the day, like. We won bronze in OFSA this year, and one of my players like, if we had one goal, would you have cried? I'm like, yeah, I would have cried because this team this year wasn't as talented as our team last year, right? Because we went back to back last year and the year before, and it was sort of expected because our guys were really good. We had them from grade 9, and we knew when we had them in grade 9, right? These guys are good, right? And so obviously COVID happened, but we knew. And so, like, even when we won it last year, it's like we're supposed to win. I felt like we were supposed to win. The year before, I felt like we were supposed to win. But this team this year, we weren't because we didn't have the same level of talent. And our point guard went down. We had a makeshift point guard. This kid who's never played point guard, but he did a good job. Did the best he could. And so the fact that we were able to go all the way and get a bronze, and I know it's high school, but, our guys are for high school. Our guys are talented for high school. So, be able to get them there. So, when your guys work hard, and you get into them and you motivate them and you yell at them and, you go ups and downs. It's emotional, man, because at the end of the day, you want the best for these guys. You want them to understand what it means to compete and fight, and basketball really, I would say basketball is a win-win. Sports is a win-win because it's teaching you about life, and I know Rick Pitino's speech, that great speech that he gave at halftime, that's why it's great because it's so true. Life is about adversity, right? And if you could teach your guys through basketball how to just compete and fight and trust and believe, and when they did that, right, even though they weren't talented and as the team last year, they did that. So I kind of know what it feels like because you get emotional, right? Because they bought in, they do their best, and they fight and they compete and they try to, they're trying to win, right? They're not trying to lose. And so for me to see him being emotional was like, yeah, that's what it's about, man. Like these guys, they bought into what you're selling, and they try to compete for you and win. And that's what makes coaching fun, right? That's what makes coaching rewarding, and that's why I love it.
And it's interesting because watching, just going back to Florida for a second, Clayton, man, like, yeah, he's that deal in person. Like how he finished that game off, to see how poised he was at the end. Because, like I said, they almost lost that. You know what I mean? At one point, I remember when, like 6-7 minutes ago, I was like, the energy right now, I'm like, it's kind of UConn right now. Like UConn is controlling this energy. And then within a span of a couple minutes, man, Clayton just went to work, hit some big shots. Like it was impressive.
You know the thing about I'm thinking about though, like I see some of these guys that are hitting big shots, but I'm like, I don't see them in the NBA like doing that. You know what I mean? I don't see them being franchise players or you know what I mean, like generational players, right?
Yeah,
and
maybe not.
Good. And they're good. Like that's the thing. They're hitting shots, but you're just like, man, they're gonna be great overseas. They're gonna be great making money in Italy or something like that. But they're the best of college basketball.
And
they're still not the upper echelon, right? Like Cooper Flagg is at a different level, right? Even Jalen's teammate, Evie.
Yeah, right? VJ Edgecombe, yeah.
Yeah, that kid is.
That's another one too. Nice kid, man. Nice.
Just the way he plays, you can see he plays at a different level, different pace.
Explosive.
Yeah.
Well, with that said, what are your thoughts on the 4 prospects that everybody's tanking for? I'll start with you, Jan, because like watching, it's funny because even watching that Baylor game, like being able to see literally 4 of the top 10, projected top 10 picks was on the court, at the same time, during that game, right? Like between VJ, between Flagg, the African kid, and what's the guy's name? Is it Knoble or something? I can't. My name is trying to remember his name right now. But the other 2 guard that's on Duke, who's projected to be high as well. Like I can't remember his name.
Knuppel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Knuckle. Yeah, but he's tough. Like in person, he's tough.
He's 6'7", bro.
Yeah. With some size, like he's smooth, Odell. Like in person, smooth, man.
Oh, I can see that. I can see it through the TV, man. I can see this guy knows how to play.
Smooth, man.
But you know what? With him, he's fearless. Like I know, like the moment he doesn't shy away from the moment, and it's just like they got a good thing going. It's just whoever beats them, they're gonna be tough to beat, man.
Yeah,
I got them playing Florida.
Oh, yeah. The one thing about the tournament what I've noticed over the years is that first game is always going to be a gimme in a sense of if you're a number 1 seed because you're going to get a 16 seed. So it's all about being prepared and getting that one out the way as quickly as possible.
Yeah,
and then that second game,
second round for you.
Yeah, that second round game is the doozy because the gap in competition closes and you're playing more or less a 9 or 8 seed or 7 seed maybe, right? And so you're going to get some more competition. You're going to get a fight right away. So some of these teams get that punch and they're not able to recover in enough time. So I was quite impressed how the first half went, and in the second half, Duke just took control, and they just kept it going, So they were clearly the better team, and it'll be interesting to see how they go. If they could keep this like I was saying before, but this momentum, now they got those 2 games out the way, just got to keep going forward now.
But again, with that said, between Flagg, Ace Bailey, Edgecombe, and Dylan Harper, like, what are your thoughts on the 4 prospects? From what you see?
I like obviously Cooper. We talked about Cooper Flagg. I like VJ Edgecombe. He impressed me over. I've been watching him a little bit here and there throughout the season. Dylan Harper is very nice as a 6'6" guard, freshman. He's a combo guard, you say? Point
guard, shooting guard.
Shooting guard, yeah. I like their talent. They're going to be good. I think they're going to be good prospects for NBA prospects. I'm really on. I like Dylan Harper. I think Ace Bailey is. I'm really impressed with him, but I think because he's playing for Rutgers, he's not getting seen as much because Cooper Flagg is playing for Duke. That's America's team. He's getting the exposure all the time, and they're looking for him. Like even the last game, Proctor was the one that really, when the moments were getting stuck, Proctor was the one that really hit the big points to kind of put the game on its end. And I found that, Flagg is trying to catch his rhythm from his sprained ankle. So I think his better games are yet to come, but they're cruising. But I like Ace Bailey and Cooper Flagg as those top two. Those are two that really stand out to me. I like Dylan Harper. VJ Edgecombe is very explosive, athletic guard. He's 6'5", so I'm intrigued to see what he's going to do, how his game translates, because he's athletic enough, but he's going to need a lot more skills, going to need a jump shot, a consistent jump shot, and a three-point shot, right? Because the college game and the NBA game is just two different levels, physically and skill-wise. So we'll see how these guys, how their games translate the next level.
Thing is, these guys are so young because I mean, like I said, I finally met Edgecombe for the first time on Sunday, but like, nice kid, man, like really nice kid, But it's like these guys, you just look at them and you're just like, man, you guys are babies, y'all so young, man. Like, because Edgecombe is he just turned 19. You know what I mean? Like these guys are so young with,
he's
with
19,
all of this.
19.
With like the weight of the world on the shoulders. I mean, it's a good weight, but it's like the weight of the world on the shoulders in terms of like you're going to change your family's life. Like these four guys they're going to be they're already millionaires based on the NIL stuff that's happening, but like it's going to go to the stratosphere. You know what I mean? Within the next 3 months, 4 months.
Well, Ace Bailey's 18.
It's going to be bigger.
Ace Bailey's 18. Dylan Harper's 19. VJ is 19. And Harper's 18. He's 18 too, right? All right. Wow.
He's 18. Yeah, Cooper's 18. But like with VJ, it's like it's funny because obviously, I got to watch him the most as he's playing with my nephew. But like, I heard about him. I've seen, heard the highlights. I heard about him even the year before because he also went to Lehigh like Jalen. So I had a chance to hear about all the stories about him and how much he's a flyer, West Indian, being in these Bahamas or whatever, or American, but you know what I mean. And, and I remember one of the things that Jalen was telling me all the time was like, he's like, Unc, he's like, that's like Wade. He's like a Wade, man. He's like, that guy every day freaks us out in practice with something crazy. Either he's dunking on somebody, either he's pinning somebody off the glass. He said every practice he's doing something insane, Okay. And the thing I love about him the most, and I don't disagree with you, because like I do think out of the four, he has to kind of tighten up his skills a little bit, but the potential is there. And what I love is his heart on defense, man. Like defensively,
he competes.
He competes, man. He really competes. He really gives a shit. And it's like, it's really impressive to watch, especially in this day and age where like, these guys who are that high lottery, sometimes they don't, they're that geared up offensively. It's not that way defensively, but man, it doesn't matter if they're getting blown on. He's trying to pin your shit off the glass. Like, you don't care. What are your thoughts on him?
He's bouncy. I just remember I was like, whoa, how tall is that guy?
Yeah, it's like when you see him in person, you're like,
he's finishing. He reminds me of, in a sense, not the same. Not to say don't let me get ahead of myself, but like, how Dwayne Wade used to finish as a 6'5" guard. He would always finish very strongly around the basket. Yeah, I know this kid's got that bounce. I'm not gonna say put him on Dwayne Wade's level. He still has a lot of work to do. But like, the way he was finishing at the hoop all the time and constantly, he was getting knocked down and getting back up and coming back again. So I like the fearlessness. I think his future is definitely bright.
Yeah, and Wade was like 6'3", not even 6'5". That's even crazier.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Yeah, I'm gonna zag. I think Harper and obviously Bailey have the skills, but sometimes you look at the intangibles, like with the Cooper Flagg. Like, I think one of the things for me, I don't know, I guess just where I am in basketball now and where I see the game is, I just look past talent now. I look at the little things, like, again, hard work. Like, the reason why I think Cooper Flagg is going to be a franchise player in generations because he just works hard. And he's a winner. He plays to win. And that's what the NBA is about. Like, if you sit back and you look at all these guys that go in the NBA, like, why is this guy not here? Why is this guy not here? Why does this guy last? A lot of these guys don't play to win. They play for stats. How do you have two top 5 NBA draft players on your team and your team sucks, bro. Have you seen the record of Rutgers? It's horrible. Yeah. I'm like, are you not
red flag?
Like, yeah, that's a huge red flag for me. They might be talented, but are they winners? And are they going to play to win? You could draft them, but are they going to play to win? Like, that's what it's about. Like, at the end of the day, it's about winning. Or are you going to make us win? And watching these guys play, now maybe they'll get there, right? Maybe they'll get there. You know, when they get to the franchise, obviously they're young, they'll grow up. Maybe they get the good vet, right, in their life. You know, because where are they projected to go? Harper's projected to go to Utah, not bad. Good coach in Utah. Bailey's projected to go
in the top 2 or 3.
Right, he's projected to go to New Orleans. So, you know, like maybe they'll mature and then they'll learn how to win and play. Actually, you know, learn how to play to win and let the game come to them. But like, I'm like, how you two guys, both you guys on the same team are literally top 5 draft pick. One is going number 2, one is going number 4 projected. And you guys, when I saw the record, when I first watched them play and I saw the record, I'm like, what? Are you kidding me right now? You know, one guy's 6'9" and one guy's 6'6", and you guys can't just, you two alone, dominate college basketball, right? Like, everybody else should just be playing their role, and you guys just take turns massacring these guys. So I don't know if these guys know how to play to win. And so that's what jumped out on me. I like Edgecombe because, again, what jumped out on me was his explosiveness, right? And he's uber explosive. And so if he works hard, like you say, Cal, and, you know, match with his explosive, you never know, right? Yeah. If he has that work ethic, he could.
Seems like a worker from what I hear.
Yeah, look at Donovan Mitchell. Like, when Donovan Mitchell, you hear him talk, he goes, when I got drafted, my potential was, you know, I was a defender. I might be a 3-and-D guy. But, you know, being a New Yorker, he worked on his handles, definitely fixed his shot. Now, you know, he's a franchise player. So, and coupled with his athleticism and his explosiveness. So hopefully, you know, you see guys like Edgecombe and you see the ceiling for him. Like, you teach this guy, fixes J, hopefully gets in the gym, works on his shot. You know, he get to the rim, like you said, like D-Wade, and becomes a 3-level scorer. But, you know, I definitely have red flags for Ace. Cooper Flagg. I was already sold on Cooper Flagg when he was playing, because I saw him on the EYBL, you know, with UPLAY. So I'm already just how he was going at guys.
Yeah.
Not only on the offensive end, but on defense. He was blocking shots, moving his feet, D'ing guys up. I'm like, I didn't need to see any more. I'm like, I'm a big fan of this guy. Right? I know he's going to do well because he was competing on both ends. Right? He wasn't taking defense off. And so, and at 6'11", doing that and playing with the motor that he was playing with, I'm like, so I'm already sold on Cooper Flagg. So,
you know what's funny, O'Neal? Because I didn't see him until like maybe about halfway through the year. I just kept hearing highlights. You know, I saw the highlights. He looked good. I saw when he went up against like the USA team this summer, like this as the USA select, the youngest guy, and he was, you know, putting buckets and shots in Durant's face, which I was kind of like, man, like, how is he just shooting so easy over KD, not realizing he had this crazy wingspan from what I hear, right?
Yeah.
So, but I'll tell you, but halfway through the year, North Carolina came to Duke. All I watched was the first half, and I was like, okay, I got it.
A dunk fest.
I get it. No, it wasn't a dunk fest. On the contrary, he controlled every aspect of the game. He was hitting threes. He was going to the basket. He was you know, kicking and driving. He was controlling the pace. Defensively, blocking shots.
They allow him to. What I like is they allow him to play make, right?
Yeah.
So they allow him to, like, they showcase him a lot, obviously, because he's a great talent. So, and they're showing once again the 3-level scorer that he is now comfortably. He's playmaking, he's attacking, he has that mid range. He knows. He has a good feel for the game. It's quite impressive. We'll see if he can get the job done. Right now, you can tell he's just trying to round back into form, but they're on a roll right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he like I said, that one all I have to watch is the first half, and I'm like, okay, I get it. Number one pick, I get it.
And the thing that they're saying, maybe they should sit him against that the first round. Remember they're thinking about sitting him?
Well, his ankle, right? You want to think long term. because it's not about as much as they want to win. It's they know it's about next year and the year
down the road.
And it's funny because you kept hearing the talks about how like there was rumors that he might wanna, or he's exploring staying in school. I mean, it's tough. You can't do it. I do predict that somebody will do it. I don't think it's going to be Flagg, but somebody will do it.
I'll Flagg. I'll stay. Fucking Washington. Play for Washington Wizards. You play for the Washington Wizards with that loose ball Jordan Poole. Fuck no.
But the thing is too, O'Neal, like you don't have
to. They need to trade Jordan Poole.
But what I'm saying is you don't have to rush when you're getting paid like this. Like before NIL.
Exactly.
Yeah, like you would be like, nah, I gotta go, or like if I guarantee you, if he does go to Washington, they will be trading Poole. I guarantee that.
You need to get Jordan Poole out of there. You need to get the knuckheads because you don't want that guy coming in playing with.
He's gonna be gone. He'll be gone.
Has to be a fresh start. Yeah, has to be a new fresh start because they got too many bad apples in there.
Yeah, they got some veterans.
When you look at Washington,
James Johnson or something, I don't care. Just bring a veteran.
Listen. Last year we went to watch Matai play, and then Tony pulled off a rabbit out of his ass and got us Barclay tickets. We went to go see Eugene Kamaka.
Oh, nice.
He was playing with the Wizards.
Yeah.
But they were playing at Barclays.
Yeah, nice.
The Met. So we got the VIP to watch. And so he was telling us, like, we beat up on the starters. They haven't beaten us all year. This is last year. They haven't won a scrimmage yet.
Yeah.
Right? So, and then he was just telling us, like, the politics of the NBA. And I was just like, wow.
It's crazy. Because they're paying him so much money.
Stuff, right?
They're paying him so much money, bro. You have to play him.
You have to play these guys. He's like, yo, because Eugene, they wanted him, but, like, the politics. He's like, yo, we destroy the starters. We destroy them. That's not even close. They don't win. They don't win. I was like, I believe you. You know, I watched Jordan Poole. I was watching Jordan Poole because where we were, you could see everything, the interactions, like you're saying, Kamaka, and his body language to the coach. Like it's just a bad run situation. The coach at the time, he's now in the head office, so he was 1 foot out already. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, what's happening?
With that said, though, Washington has some pieces. They got some young guys on that team. That's not.
Yeah, but
it's a nice little corner building.
You have a once in a lifetime generational player that comes around that doesn't come around that often. You gotta take
Jordan Poole, man.
They're gonna do that though. I believe they will do that because the two French kids is on the team. That's solid. The Bub Carrington kid solid. Was it like the George kid? Keyshawn George.
What's his face from? Is it Gonzaga, the shooter?
Yeah, Crispert.
Yeah. Get rid of Jordan Poole, bro. He's killing it.
They got some.
Louis Asamoah is so happy when he got out of there.
I know. Yeah, I know.
Thank you.
And it's crazy because like I always say again, such a great city. It's such a great city, but it's like the franchise is just. They share it with the Capitals. The Capitals, under the same umbrella. The Capitals, like I'm wearing the jersey right now. Like they're great. They're winners.
The grade 8. OB, baby.
Yeah, man. They're winners. But they,
Did he break the record already? Did he get the record?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Wow, I never thought in a million years I'll see that be broken.
I didn't even care. I didn't even know that record. I didn't even know about that record. But I'm just I was a big OV fan, anyways. He's my favorite player since he got it. Like for some reason, when in following hockey, all my favorite players have been Russian. So when I was younger, it was Pavel Bure. Remember Pavel Bure?
Oh my God,
the Russian Rocket. He was my favorite player.
It
wasn't Gretzky. It was never Gretzky. It was always Pavel Bure.
I love Gretzky.
Yeah, I always loved Pavel Bure. And then now, when I started watching hockey again, it wasn't Sidney Crosby. It was
Grant Fuhr. Come on, buddy. Back in the days, the only black guy playing hockey back in the days. Come on now, Grant Fuhr.
Oh yeah. But my favorite hockey player was Pavel Bure because of his skill.
Listen,
like Russian hockey.
Wayne Gretzky made me think I could play hockey, man.
Yeah, not
yeah.
Pavel Bure. Grant Fuhr, you just loved him because he was black. He was a black goalie. Like you liked it.
Of course.
I mean, he was great too. He was great. Hall of Famer. He was great.
Yeah, Pavel Bure. And then when I went to school in the States, I stopped watching hockey and never watched it. When I started back again, it was watching Alexander Ovechkin. And so it's always been, for some reason, Russians is my favorite players.
Getting a chance to watch him because shout out to Joe Ward, like getting a chance to go to DC and watch him for the 4 years, like watching that guy in person and just watching how he just owns the arena.
Yeah,
and he's got the swag with him too. Like it's I love Obi. Like Obi was great to watch. Like it's still great.
Hockey player. He might be my favorite hockey player of all time.
Yeah. See hockey wise, I'm a Gretzky guy, but I got a soft spot for Lemieux.
Yeah,
Mario Lemieux was my guy.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
Lemieux was a monster.
He was good too. Yeah, he was good too.
Yeah.
Injuries, but he was a big body that was just powerful.
Oh, he was a monster though. Yeah, he was a beast.
Yep.
Super skilled. But
Yep.
yeah, like to touch on your point about Harper and Bailey, they said that there's that they're going to set a record. Rutgers, they're making history basically to have 2 top 4 players that not make the tournament. I don't think that's ever happened before. Yeah,
exactly.
I'm like it kind of makes me think of Ben Simmons at LSU a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to throw that out there, but how do you ignore that at the same time? You know what I mean?
You can't put. Okay, I think there's a lot of contributing factors that play into that. It could be coaching. It could be. We don't know. We're not behind the scenes of what's going on. I haven't watched all their games. I just watched a few here in bits and pieces of highlights and so forth. But it's disappointing, definitely, like what Kamaka was saying earlier. But like
Jen,
it's just
all you got to do is just watch how they play the game, bro.
I know.
Just watch.
They don't play together. It's all your turn. Yeah, but I know.
Here's why. Here's how simple it is. Because if you watch Cooper Flagg play, if you've ever watched him play from wherever, he always plays to win.
Plays the right way. Yeah.
He always plays to win. You just see guys who do the right things. That's it. You see guys who play for stats, and you see guys who play to win.
Yeah.
That's it. Right? And you know that you guys know this game. You know when a guy drives, 2 guys are coming to help, and they're trying to go over the 2 guys instead of making the extra pass.
Yeah.
They're playing for the stats, bro. So it's not, that's what I saw. And they're talented. Sure, they're talented, blah, 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 blah.
Very talented.
What I'm looking at is the intangibles, and like these guys, it's very glaring that you're on Rutgers and your team's record is what it is. You guys, then are not leaders, right?
Yes.
We're not following you guys. You guys are not playing to win. You guys don't know how to get your teammates to follow you, right? Are you guys working hard, right? So if you're the best players, because my thing is your best players have to be your hardest worker. And I think what you hear about Cooper Flagg, he's the best player in Duke, and he's the hardest worker.
Yeah.
So what is Bailey doing? Yeah, sets the tone. So what are Bailey doing? What are Harper doing? So
they're 8-12. They're 8-12 in conference. Rutgers. Yes. They're 15 and 17 overall. 17.
Look at that. It's horrible, bro.
Yeah.
So I think they're talented, but I'm not in a rush to draft these guys, man.
That can't happen, but at the same time, I will say I do gravitate a little bit towards Harper. Like watching him play, I really liked watching him play. He kind of reminds me. I keep telling people he's like a 6'6" Brunson.
Yep.
He's like a 6'6" Brunson. So I'm like, he's tough. Like you definitely do want to draft him. Like you can't knock it, but it does give me the red flag that they didn't even make the NIT. That is a little troubling.
That's bad. Yeah, that's bad.
I can't unsee that. You know what I'm saying? I can't unsee that. I can't unsee that.
When I saw the record, I'm like, the record just turned me off. I'm like, okay, that's all you need to tell me about these 2 guys is the record.
Yeah,
and two top 4, top 5 picks, and your record is that bad? Come on, man. In college basketball, bro, teams are winning with 1 player. Teams have 1 guy. You got 2. And
so you're saying, okay, hold on.
One guy are not even NBA draft picks.
So you're saying, as an owner of a franchise, would you overlook these players because of this previous year? Would you overlook those 2
second
players?
or third pick right now.
Second and what? Third or fourth? You said second or fourth, no?
Second, anywhere from 2nd to 4. Let's go there.
Okay.
Flags go number 1. So anywhere.
Would you overlook? Okay. Knowing what you just know, what you just assessed, would you look past that?
Are you asking me?
Yes. And draft him,
or
look past him to draft someone else?
I'll use it to trade. Maybe I'll use it as a trade, but maybe I'll work on a trade deal with somebody.
That's tough. I don't know. That's tough. Because if I have the right vets in there. Like I said, I like Dylan more than I like Bailey. I'm like, like I said, man, it's 6'6" Brunson. Can you get somebody like that kind of potential? And he's young. If I could have the right, if you're Utah,
talent when talent doesn't work hard. These guys, I'm not hearing anything about these guys working hard, bro.
I'm not disputing that. Here's a question: if you're the Raptors, who are you taking? Say the Raptors get the number 2 pick.
I already know who I'm taking.
You taking Edgecombe?
Hell no.
You said hell no? If you got the number 2 pick, not 1.
I heard you. the first time.
Okay.
I'm taking.
grabbing?
I'm grabbing the PG from but I'm grabbing
probably a new set of glasses. Go ahead.
Shut up. I'm grabbing what's his face? Kasparis from Illinois.
Oh, from Michigan?
No, from Illinois. The point guard from Illinois.
Okay, my bad. Illinois, I meant to say.
6'7" point guard from Illinois.
Is that the shooter?
Yep.
He's crafty, but he can't play no D.
He can play D. No,
you would take him over those three guys?
Trae Young doesn't play defense. You're telling me Trae Young doesn't play defense?
They're attacking him. They're attacking him in that game.
Yeah, that's fine. There's a lot of guys that don't play defense in the league, bro.
He's nice though. I'll give you this. He's nice because he knows how to get his game off in the half court. He has the temperament and the basketball IQ to take the. I liked what he did. He probes. He took a crab dribble to take a.
He's a tall point guard. He's a tall point guard.
He did a screen and roll. He did a screen and roll, did a crab dribble, and made so much distance. The jumper was just by himself at the elbow. I was like, okay. He did it 3 times in a row. They didn't know. It was like they were struggling.
Yeah, that's me.
So
I'm taking him.
Jan, answer your own question.
I thought I was gonna I'm not thinking knowing what I know. If I'm watching the NBA, I'm literally watching NBA. You go back over drafts, you see all these guys get drafted number 1. I mean number 2, and they're not even in the league, bro.
Not in the league
anymore. Not in the league. How many of these guys that get drafted number 2, 3, 4, whatever they get drafted, they're not in the league?
And they're gone after 4 or 5 years.
If I'm seeing this from these guys early, and that's what everybody says, maybe when they get there, they get they'll get mature. And I just said it, but if I'm being honest, and I got to pick, I'm gonna take a point guard like Kasparis or whatever his name is, or Knuppel. I'll take Knuppel. If I'm seriously, I'll take Knuppel from Duke. You know why? Because I know he's gonna work hard. He's gonna compete. He's gonna play hard. He's gonna be a professional basketball player. You guys can go take talent. I take hard work because hard work's a skill. I'll take hard work over talent when talent doesn't work hard. And when these guys get caught up in the NBA, when all their pum-pums coming in their face, and they get all the excess, and everybody's telling them how nice they are, and they're showing up 5 minutes or 10 minutes before practice, and they start, getting in their feelings, I'm taking Knuppel. Guys who are going to grind and work hard. That's who I'm taking. You can take those talented guys who are on a 15-17 team at Rutgers. How's your team 15-17 at Rutgers, bro?
Even with that said, only reason why I would take Harper is because of course, the talent. Yes, the pedigree of his father being in the league. I would take the chance on him based on that. You know what I mean? The skill set.
Who's his father? Who's his father?
Ron.
Right. Harper. Who did Ron Harper play with?
Who did what?
Who did Ron Harper play with?
You say he's a loser? You say he's a loser?
No, he played with the Bulls.
He played with the Bulls. They won. So you would think Ron Harper is instilling in his son what winning is and what it looks like. Do you think Daryl, whatever his name is listening to his dad and doing that? Probably not. Fuck off. Your dad is Ron Harper. Your dad just won a 3-peat with the Bulls. You don't know what winning looks like? How are you 15-17, bro? What do you do? What do you mean? What are you telling me right now?
In Harper's defense, though, I feel like a lot of fathers are suffering from their sons not listening to them. The amount of guys you hear that are in the pros and they're like, "Oh, my son don't listen to me." Like Dominique Wilkins was one to say that. He's like, it's Dominique Wilkins, and his son is coming up. I think his son is a senior now, and he's like,
his son's on the EYBL.
Yeah, he's like, my son don't listen to what I say.
Need to shot in my box. What do you mean?
And he's like, and it's Dominique Wilkins. You know what I mean? But like, I think there's a lot of fathers that are saying that from the league, give or take a few guys. Maybe not Carmelo's son, because he seems like he's kind of level-headed, but like you see a lot of guys doing it. It's crazy.
And there's you just made my point for me. Your father plays on a winning teams, 3 championships. He's telling you what winning looks like, and you're not listening to him. I'm good. I'm gonna go to Canupo. I'll take Canupo.
With that said, I know we're trying to. I want to keep it kind of in the college basketball atmosphere. So to kind of wrap up, what do you guys think of now that we're like a couple years in, what do you guys think of the transfer portal and the NIL landscape now that we're a couple of years into this now?
I think it's great. I think part of it is being caught up in how it used to be. So when you hear guys go to the portal right away, like, what's wrong with you guys? But then I think about when I was getting recruited to St. Mary's.
Stop right there, O'Neal. Stop right there for a second. Do you feel like you could? Don't you feel like you want to hop in a DeLorean, take yourself like an 18-year-old self, and then drive yourself back into, throw it in reverse, take your 19-year-old, throw it back into overdrive and come into 2024 as a 19-year-old?
Yeah.
Don't you feel the same way, Jan?
Yeah, of course, obviously, but I mean, I think time is time, and everything happens in its rightful place. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I just think with 2 years in, I think I'm happy that the players are able to get.
I didn't get to finish what I was saying, Jan, because fucking Calvin interrupted me. So what I was saying was, before I was really interrupted by Calvin with his Back to the Future dream, my coach promised me when he recruited me to St. Mary's that he was going to be there. He goes, don't worry, I'm going to be here when you graduate in 99. This mother sucker, this was in October, first recruit. I signed right away, early signing period. This mother sucker, the team does well. St. Mary's goes to the tournament. They play Wake Forest the first round, had a good showing. 2 weeks later, he gets offered the Oregon job. Do you think this mother sucker calls me and tells me that he gets the Oregon job? No. I had to find out from my JUCO coach when I went to the office just to, we go to, after season's over, we go to the office to hang out and look at film or whatever. And he goes, did you hear what happened to your coach? I'm like, what? He goes, he got a job at Oregon. I'm like, this guy didn't even call me just to say, listen, I know I promised you this. Mm-hmm. So no, I think all these players, because all these coaches, huh?
I said, you're one of many.
Yeah,
so exactly.
And all these coaches, the minute they start winning, right? What happens? The minute they get to, especially at a small school, they make it to the tournament, they get a new contract. Because in the Power Five conferences, there's some teams that didn't make the tournament. Guess who's getting fired? That coach of the part, and guess who's getting replaced him? That coach from the small school that just made it from McNeese.
Like McNeese State.
Yeah.
McNeese State, whatever. Right? So, yeah, you know what? The players played well. Their cachet went up. You know what? I'm going to make that money. Because at the end of the day, like you have the kid Dent who's leaving New Mexico. Trust me, there's going to be a player coming in behind him to replace him, right? And maybe he's more of a facilitator than Dent, right? Because Dent could score. And that guy's going to be a great pro. Like I just see pro written all over this guy. His pace, his feel for the game. He could break guys out off the dribble, all that stuff. So I think it's great. A lot of these guys, and as I said before, they look good. A lot of these guys probably won't get on an NBA roster. Make as much money as you can in college basketball. Be smart with it, invest it, set yourself up for the future. So I'm all for the NIL. Initially, I would always have like a knee-jerk reaction when guys like, I'm going to, I'm like, really? But then I'm like, you know what? Do you? You raise your cap, because these coaches will be quick to go take a job somewhere else where they're going to get paid a lot of money. And again, these coaches are good because they go sign a contract for 3 years. First of all, if I know a school wants me, I'm like, it's going to be 5 years. I need at least 5 years to rebuild the program. So now I'm getting 5 years guaranteed money. I'm good. If I get fired within that 5 years, maybe I'll go back to coach high school basketball. I still get paid. I might even find another diamond in the rough. And, I could parlay, go with him another school.
Or you're like Sean
Sean
Miller, who leaves Arizona and then goes to Xavier for a couple of years, and now you go back to Texas.
Exactly.
So Kamaka, is your point finished yet? Because you've been talking for a minute, man.
You're finished.
Golly. Okay. I'm gonna keep this short. Wow. I think the players. Thank you for your explanation. I just think no. I think it's good for the players because
you want to fix it again. Fix your glasses. Your glasses are crooked. Okay, there you go. Okay, it's fixed.
When I see him face to face again, those glasses are not going to be in that condition. I promise. Right. But anyways,
my glasses are falling off. Fixing it.
Okay, can I get to my point, sir? Can I get to my point? Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Wow, whoa! Why? Where's this coming from? I just listened to this guy for like 10 hours. Anyways, I think it's good because the players are getting money to take care of their immediate future, what's happening now and for the future. At the same time, in the past, look at all the great players that we used to watch, like Weber in Michigan. They had their names across. Everyone's buying all those Michigan jerseys because of Weber and the Fab Five, but none of those guys were getting the money. So I'm happy to see that these players are getting the money. I just hope that they do the right thing, like you said. But Americans are different, and they're coming. So when you have a person coming from nothing and come into money, and they don't, it's interesting. Yeah, it goes fast. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. So
it goes fast. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Jen. So I hope there's some guidance and financial literacy involved in that. But yeah, man. I think it's cool. I'm happy to see what's happening. They're probably going to change in the next couple of years to try to regulate things. I don't know how they're going to do that, but I'm just happy that
Wild
kids
West right now.
Yes.
Hey, everybody's making money.
It's the wild. Yeah, and you know what? You can't. The Pandora's box is open. You can't close it back now. And a few things, like what I've learned from this era, just from doing my research, talking to people like O'Neal and different coaches, and looking at. Even like my nephew hitting the transfer portal last year, right? It's unless you're a high school All-American, right? Or like at the very least a 4-star player, it's harder than you think now to land a D1 scholarship right out of high school. Am I wrong, O'Neal?
Oh no.
Right? Like it's you have to treat it like you're applying for a great company with the best benefits. Like you just got to get your foot in that door for that company. Meaning like if a D2 school right now, you're not getting the looks, and a small mid-major is calling you a D2 school, listen to what they have to say. Because the biggest thing is right now is just get in the door, go kill us that first year or so, and then hit the portal. Hit the portal, and then just see what happens. You know what I mean? Like they're looking everywhere for talent, but they're not necessarily looking for those kids coming out of high school anymore.
No, because everybody wants to.
You have coaches. I think either Patino. I think it was Patino that was saying that he is not recruiting any kids coming out of high school. It's crazy. That's what we are.
Exactly, and it goes back again because these coaches want to win now, so they can make more money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
right. And so that's what it's about. So of course,
those days of building up and growing things, these players.
Yeah, developing them, letting them develop.
They're skipping steps now.
Yeah.
And that's why the women's game.
Remember, so JUCO now you can do what 5 years in JUCO or something like that, and then really
what
you can do 4 years of JUCO, bro, and not lose any college eligibility.
I saw there's a guy playing at was it BYU? He's like 26 years old. And,
but he's a Mormon. He probably did his mission.
Yes,
because when I had that on my team, we had a couple of guys. When he came back, he was old. Did his mission.
I had a guy did time in the Army, Marlo Grimsley. I'll never forget him. He was a 29-year-old freshman.
When I played against Sac State, we played against a school. It wasn't Sac State, but we had it was a D2 school. They had a 30-year-old playing. So, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, if you're doing 4 years of JUCO, bro, you don't got a D1, you ain't that good.
But it's like real life. Like, you have kids out there who's got their masters that can't get a job that's like beneath the paper, like beneath the degree that they have hanging on their wall, right? Like that's it's kind of where we are right now. Like it's crazy to see where the sport is. Sorry, Jen, what are you saying?
It's gonna get worse.
Yeah, and I mean, and these schools know what they're doing. Like a BYU, I watched something earlier this year where they're saying BYU is running their program like a pro
NBA.
program.
Because the coach would be an NBA assistant coach. And that's why AJ DeBonce is going there. He ain't stupid. That's what he's doing what college football is doing, right? At some point in college football, they started running like NFL because you had NFL coaches going back down to college. So you start running that. Great way to recruit. Great way to get players in, get you ready for the next level. Same thing with AJ DeBonce.
Belichick.
Everything's set up like the NBA.
Yeah, but no one wanted him in the NFL. So he said, "Okay, all right, I'm going to go back down." Belichick.
Yeah, whatever. But even way before Belichick, I'm saying coaches way before Belichick.
Yeah,
were getting fired and they're going back to college and just implementing pro stuff. And that's why you see a lot of because I watch a lot of football. You listen to them talk. They're like a lot of colleges are running NFL stuff. And there's like a lot of NFL teams are stealing stuff from college.
The college game.
Right?
Yeah.
So, the coach is smart. He's just bringing it to basketball. He was I can't remember which staff he was on for 2 years. It might have been Utah. On our staff, he was there. And then he got a college job at BYU. They're going to pay him a lot of money and running like NBA. So now it was working for Calipari, right? Because Calipari was getting all his guys were NBA ready. Yeah. So this guy's, taking a book out of that, taking a page out of that book, and he's going to get,
It's just weird seeing it's just weird seeing Pitino at St. John's, Calipari at Arkansas. Yeah. What's his face at is it Illinois? No. What's his name again?
No.
What's his name?
Coach?
What's his name?
What you coaching?
It escapes my name right now. It'll come back to me. But it's just seeing all these old coaches are coming back. I was like, wow,
different
these new
schools.
different schools. I was like, wow. Like Pitino, I thought he was done. I never thought he'd be back again. But so.
Yeah. And he brought St. John's back. And it's interesting because he made a comment, I think, earlier this year about one of his players, I think it's Kadari Richmond, and he took him from Seton Hall. And he was like, straight up, and I love the honesty because he was like, look, it's nothing that Shaheen Holloway did. It's not that I'm a better coach than Shaheen Holloway. I mean, he is, but he's like, that's not the reason why. He's like, because my alumni pays better than Seton Hall.
Yeah.
That's it. He said, that's all it is. He's like, we offered more money to Kadari than Seton Hall can afford. Yep. That's why he's on my team.
There you go.
Like, they're keeping it real. Yeah. Which and in some ways you can respect that. And to your point, O'Neal, you're talking about the running a pro system. You got GMs, you got general managers that
are in college now. Like she's a general, he general. Yeah, like what's going on? General managers, like
general managers.
Wojnarowski, the insider back to St. Bonaventure. Yeah, general manager. Right, even a player that we used to coach with me at UPLAY, he's like, he's the general manager for Arizona State. I was like,
holy cow.
I got promoted to general manager. I was like, okay. Yeah. Another team has a general manager. So they're in charge of what? NILs, recruited.
Yep. They're setting the collective up and doing the budgeting and stuff. Yeah. It's crazy. Andrew Luck is doing that at Stanford. It's crazy where all this is going, man. Like it's a new wave, and it's interesting, and it's gonna be crazier because, like I said, right now it's the Wild West. Like I don't know if you guys saw, but Scottie Pippen's son, I think it's Justin Pippen. I don't know if you guys saw that. He already entered the transfer portal. He's playing for Michigan. He's playing for Michigan. Michigan's still in the Sweet 16.
Does he even play?
I don't know if he plays, but the fact that he hit the portal while their season is still going. This is where this is going right now. That's what I'm saying. It's crazy. I can't blame him, but it's just like when I saw that today, I was like, that is insane.
So if he doesn't play, why are you hitting the portal, bro? He's probably getting great advice from his
someone's in his ear saying something.
No, his dad. That loose ball is in his ear. That idiot. You know why Scottie Pippen's bitter and he hates Jordan, right?
Well, you're gonna tell us, O'Neal.
Yes, I am. But everybody
want to fix the glasses again?
What everybody's missing is the fact that there's a scene in The Last Dance. Remember where Charles Oakley is slapping Scottie Pippen around?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's why. Because if you think about everything else that went on with Pippen in The Last Dance, we already knew about that. We knew about him not wanting to go in the game and take. That's on record.
But you know what it was? It brought it back to the surface. It brought it back to the modern day. You know, we forgot about that. We know it happened, but go ahead. Sorry, finish.
But Jan, that could easily come on YouTube or something like that. Somebody can easily YouTube it.
But it wasn't okay. When you mentioned Scottie Pippen, I'll say this.
But no, hold on. Like a little bitch, Jan. Think about it.
What?
You remember what Oakley was doing to him? Like he's giggling. Oakley's slapping him around, right? And he made him look like a little bitch. Yeah. And then Oakley gave him one last slap. Right? Yeah. I'm telling you, that's everything else people knew about. Everything else was already public information. That is the one thing from The Last Dance I did not know about. That's the one thing when I saw Last Dance, it was nostalgia for me. I was like, I knew about, huh? Yeah. I was just reliving everything. So everything I was just like, oh yeah. I remember I didn't forget Scottie Pippen did that because for the longest time when people were celebrating Scottie Pippen, I wasn't a big fan of Scottie Pippen because of his migraine in Game 7 and because of what he did when he didn't want to go with Tony Kukoc. So I didn't remember those stuff. But what I did not know was how Charles Oakley was making him look like a punk. And that's what Scottie Pippen is upset about. I bet you. Because nobody knew about that. That was like hidden footage. You knew about that?
I've seen that clip before.
I've seen it numerous times. Yeah. I saw it numerous times, to be honest with you. I did.
Before The Last Dance?
Yeah.
When?
Yeah, I think I've seen that before too.
It's always been around. It's always been around. I've always seen him slap him. I've always seen that. I've never seen that. I've never seen that. I think the Last Dance brought up a lot of things brought up a lot of hard things with this guy, like how he took the season off to get surgery.
But we knew that.
I know, but it brought everything to the forefront. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, it put it in neon light for everyone to see, because we got to remember, it's during the pandemic, right? We're not watching. No, we had no TV. We're just talking to each other on Zoom and what's on the phone or whatever, right? So this thing came on. It was one of the first things that came on. Remember that, eh? And the world was watching. It wasn't just us. The world was watching, right? Sure. So that's why I feel, as heads, we know what happened. But the general public, everyone saw it. And especially in this information age, it was just blown up to another stratosphere. So that's why I think, I agree with you. But I just think just the timing of it, oof. And then how he's acted afterward.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad.
It's
beneath somebody in that stature. It's beneath somebody in that stature.
Yeah, it's just like, my goodness.
I saw when Patrick Bet David, when Pat interviewed him, he's like, yeah, we were never friends. I was like, this guy. I was like, I can't listen to this guy. That's drugs. That's just drug use. And he's just not. I can't listen to this guy. Like, that makes no sense.
Chad, you just got him smoking cocaine?
Yeah.
He just putting him
but like he's hurt. Instead of like, yo, let's have a conversation. Why did you do this? What? Like, I don't know. I can't get in between it. Who knows what's going on behind the scenes? But
you couldn't even throw alcohol in the mix. You just had him right in the nose candy.
That's it. Listen. Hey, cocaine's a hell of a drug, bro.
Yeah, man.
Booger sugar.
Like, yeah, but I was like, I not to say like I'm gonna give him a little bit more props than Kamaka. Like he was he wasn't the famous player, but he was one of my favorite players because of what his intangibles, how he played on both ends of the floor, how important he was to that first championship, how he shut down Magic. This guy's playing Magic Johnson full court. I'll never forget that because Jordan got lit up in that first game. Kamaka. Sorry, just want to say that. But
like you said, the first game is one game.
Yeah, I know, but like what his impact, and
I agree.
What him and Jordan did together, like come on, man, you know what I'm saying?
Because again, after I was like, you know what? Like when as time went on, I was like, you know what? Yeah, Scottie Pippen really was
important,
a huge impact on Jordan. But what I'm saying is I never forgot about the migraine because that's why I initially hated him.
Yes,
like, look at this bitch.
That was a bad look back then too.
The migraine, and then when he with Kukoc. Yeah, he didn't want to go in and when the play was drawing for Kukoc. But again, once time went on, I was like, okay. Like once he retired, and I was like, okay. I became a fan. I was like, you know what? MJ definitely wasn't going to win without Pippen.
Yeah.
Right. But Pippen definitely did. MJ definitely got in his head and brought him up, raised him up.
Yeah.
in the Breakfast Club. But
yeah.
I started giving him his props after. But now this guy's acting like an idiot. But whatever. But we're digressing.
It's a shame, yeah. Before we wrap up, like, to circle back to his sons, because Scottie Pippen Jr. is doing this thing as a backup with Memphis. I like his game, but the younger son, like I said, just to touch back on this whole portal stuff, it's like I said, this is the Wild West right now. Like, I think it will get regulated in a sense where, you know, there is going to be some sort of a salary cap that's going to come. Are the players going to form some sort of a union? These things going to have to come into play, because this money is just growing. The dirty little secret about these schools is nobody cares. Like, the schools don't care about players getting paid because they're not the ones paying it.
Exactly.
No. The alumni are paying. They don't care. They're not splitting the profits. Like, Duke's not splitting the profits.
Corporate, when they do commercials, they don't care.
Yeah. Like Duke's not worried about paying Flagg. They're not Flagg's not getting a piece of the profits of their jersey sales. They don't care. He's getting the dough, and that's it. So before we wrap up though, just to touch on a little bit of the NBA, just a little bit, in terms of a wild prediction, in terms of how for the rest of the season, how it's going to go down. What unconventional thing do you guys think is going to happen by the end of the season? It could be anything. And before you guys answer, man, I don't know what's going on with some of these players with these blood clots, because I don't know if you got, just before the podcast, I saw that Damian Lillard has kind of the same thing that Wembanyama's going through. He's on blood thinners right now. So this seems to be like, it's a little weird. It seems to be a thing. Like, he's currently on blood thinners. He's out indefinitely. So
all the medicine these guys are doing,
what's going on?
And then all of a sudden these guys
you think the vaccinations have something to do? I don't know, man. I have no idea. But, like, I don't know, man. It's just like, what a time to be alive. Wow.
Blood clot.
It's odd.
Because it happens. There's different reasons why blood clot can happen, right? Because it's when mostly your arteries are thin and blood can't get through. So is your diet? Huh?
Could be.
I don't know, because like they got Wemby, they shut him down to make sure that they're on top of it. And
I mean,
now
that was in his shoulder. Like, that was man. That was close to some vital parts of his body. You know.
So where's Lillard's blood clot?
I think it's in his calf.
Wow.
Lillard, but remember, Lillard was out before too with abdominal problems.
Yeah, but I think they found this now too. So it's
diet.
Yeah. They say sometimes a lot of flying too. They say sometimes a lot of flying too.
Bigger. Last year he played injured. This year he looks more solid. He looks like, I don't know, man. It could be some of the training. Maybe his body's just, NBA season is such a long year, and it takes such a hit on the body, all the travel and everything. I don't even know, man.
But
like, they say he should not be traveling right now. He should not be traveling right now. You know what I'm saying?
No.
You know, so
no, it shouldn't.
So what unconventional? I don't know, bro. I mean, it already happened with Luka. I don't know if anything.
Yeah, I know. That was it, eh?
Yeah. That's still a head scratcher.
I don't know if anything on the phone come close to that. Like, I don't know. Because can trades still be made?
No. That's long gone.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. So I don't know.
Well, just in terms of where teams finish, do you have a prediction of where
maybe might finally come out that LeBron is on steroids? It'll be solid proof.
You're hoping, eh? You're hoping. I'll say this: if the Lakers win, it would really look bad on Dallas and that whole situation. I think the NBA wants the Lakers to win.
They're not
well, hey, we'll see.
Stranger things have happened, though. I'm actually, but I don't. Nah.
Listen. If the NBA wants to showcase LeBron and Luka Wonder Boy, they're gonna do that. Okay, and he going.
What do you mean want to showcase LeBron? Haven't they been showcasing LeBron for like the last 20 years, bro?
No. The two of them together, and then two of them doing their thing together on the biggest stage in LA. The NBA wins.
They're not winning, bro.
No, probably not. But it'll be interesting to see how far. It's all the matchups.
They're not winning.
I don't know. I'm not totally on board with OKC. I think they still need another more seasoning. I think the regular season they set themselves up for success, learning from what happened last year. We're gonna see. I don't know about the Jalen kid. I don't know, man. I don't know about those guys. You know, Shea is going to show up and do what they can. I don't know about the other guys. The others is what concerns me. They play great defense. They're a scrappy team. They're on you. But offensively is when they take bad shots, man. I've watched a lot of their games, and it's just interesting to see. I don't know. I'm not a firm believer of OKC in the West.
Yeah, I learned not to bet against LeBron, but
thank you.
They still got winning. They got Luka. He doesn't play no D.
I know.
They're gonna exploit him. That's what they're him and Austin.
Like listen, like it's
and the size too.
Yeah, because the Jackson Hayes kid, he's playing way too much. He's playing way above his grade, and he's not an actual IQ guy. So when he gets like those guys, he's like a JaVale McGee 0.2, but not as bad. But you can't overplay him because that's when the mistakes start to happen and the fouls. And then after that, they go small ball. They go ultra small ball with everyone. But they got a lot of 3D guys, long wingers, right? Like 6'8", 6'9", 7, long wingspan, little girth. I like Finney Smith. I like Rui coming back. Obviously, LeBron. They got Vando, lefty guy. He's a terror defensively.
Is he?
I was gonna say asking Jackson Hayes to do what he's doing right now is like asking like an entry level employee to run the company right now.
Yeah, but like, hey, kudos to him. He's holding it down, but like I think he's just playing way over himself.
Oh, a million percent.
He's gonna get exposed. He's gonna get exposed because he's light in the ass and he gets pushed around all the time, right?
Yep.
A million percent. Here's my wild prediction that if I want to spend money on Bet365, if there's a prediction down on this, I'm sure there will be. But if there is, I would put it down on this wild prediction. Not saying this is going to happen. Clippers making the conference finals.
All right, guys, I gotta go. All right, thanks. Let's wrap it up. You think so? Well, Kawhi's playing good. Well, you know what? James Harden is one of my least favorite players. But
listen, I'm saying it's a wild prediction. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but go on. Go on.
Huh?
For how long is Kawhi playing?
Yeah.
But
I'll tell you because he's
looking good. He's coming back in the form. You can see it.
I've jumped on and off this Kawhi bandwagon so much in the last couple of years, but what they're doing with the Clippers right now is they're like Harden's been playing well, Powell's been playing well, Zubac has been playing well. Their staff has been like the rest of their roster has been solid. They're really well coached. Inspired. They look really well coached. I watched Kawhi about a couple weeks ago get the game winner on Sacramento, and the way he was celebrating, the way he was inspired, the way he's playing now too. I'm kind of like the way they're playing right now is kind of like they're just saving him for the playoffs. They're just trying to get him at the peak for the playoffs, let everybody else do their thing, and then
when they brought him back, they didn't bring him back as like as normal. They didn't do any ball handling stuff. Sit in the corner and just work your way back slowly. Let Powell and Harden do all the work. You just catch and shoot, do your little thing, because he's methodical in his approach in the half court. So it's looking good. I can't deny it, but like we've been here before.
A million times. That's what I'm saying. If I was to put it's like the 2,500 to 1 spread or whatever, and you can wait. You can put this bet down and take your spouse to Jamaica with that bet.
I would put my money on the Lakers more so than the Clippers.
Listen, this is a wild bet. This is one where like you take that money and it's like, yo, let me just roll the dice here and see. It would be that for me. I'm not saying they win it. They've been here before, but like I said again, it's watching how they're methodically working this Kawhi thing into effect. It's been pretty interesting. Like that game they played against the OKC last a couple of days ago, man. I mean, that was a solid loss, but man, that was it was a solid performance.
It was a good game, man.
It was a solid performance. But anyways, let's wrap this up here, brothers. Thank you for doing this and hopping on the podcast, man. And
Kamaka is dropping like Kamaka's not going to make it if you go any longer than this. So you better cut him off.
Oh no, we're done now. Hold on. Your glasses is crooked. Your glasses is crooked. Can you fix it one more? Fix it one more time. There you go. There you go. Fix it. There you go. There you go. But the Rye High connection, man, it lives in spirit forever, man. So.
Listen, you'll never listen, man, for life. But yeah, man, it was good, man. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man, for sure. Appreciate you guys, man.
Thank you for checking out the latest edition of the AV Podcast. Special shout out goes out to Jan Michael Nation and O'Neal Kamaka for hopping on this episode and talking about all things March Madness. One thing I didn't get a chance to talk about, and I can't believe we missed this for some reason, is man, for Juju Watkins to go down, man, it's that hurt as a basketball fan. You know, especially the women's game. And now listen, like the women's tournament is still going to do well. It's been getting record ratings, but to lose your biggest star of the tournament is tough. And it makes it worse because she's probably gone for next year too, just based on at the timing when she got hurt. So she's probably missing at least 15 to 18 months. Easy. It's tough, man. I hated to see that for her because she's a really good athlete. But no matter what Mama Daniels thinks, she's a great athlete, man. So it sucks to see that she went down like that. But, you know, we wish her a speedy recovery because that's one of the game's greats. I think she's off to do amazing things with the women's basketball, you know, on top of all the new stars that are coming up. So, you know, I hope she recovers and recovers well and she comes back to who she was because, man, she was great to watch as a freshman. She was great to watch this year too. So it really sucks to see what happened. But once again, like I said, thank you guys for listening to this episode. We'll be back next week with some new content. All right, make sure you go back to the catalog and check out SouthShirav.com. Once again, that is SouthShirav.com. And make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons wherever you listen to this podcast. And make sure you hit those 5 stars for me, please, and thank you. Thank you for all your support. Appreciate the patience, appreciate the love. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all. For O'Neal Kamaka and Jan Michael Nation, this is Cal C. And you just tuned into the AV Podcast right here on South Shore Ave Radio. All right, until next week, we out.